$4 trillion treasure found under the sea. That's what the front pages scream, from Manila all the way to New York. Philippines sits on rare earth jackpot, ran digital tickers in London and Singapore. That morning, television screens everywhere lit up with reporters standing on the wind-swept shores of Luzon, their eyes bright and their voices urgent. The world honestly just sat up and took notice. The discovery broke like a thunderclap, but it wasn't just another gold rush or oil strike. This was something new. Rare earth minerals, the fuel of our digital age. News helicopters buzzed over coastal villages, beaming live images of fishermen looking out to sea, probably wondering what the future now held. Social media absolutely exploded. Hashtags like Luzon Treasure and Rare Earth Rush trended across the globe. Commentators called it the find of the century, and memes showed the Philippine flag rising over piles of glowing minerals. In all that shock and excitement, questions surged. Was this a blessing, a curse, or maybe something in between? The answer, well, it could change the fate of a nation, and maybe even the world. The story really began with a research vessel off Luzon's northern coast. Scientists, just expecting routine samples, instead pulled up seabed cores glittering with these strange, heavy rocks. Tests confirmed the impossible. These were rich in rare earth elements. And lots of them. Estimates valued the deposit at $4 trillion. These minerals lay deep beneath Philippine waters, embedded in mud and rock, stretching for miles. It was honestly one of the largest finds in human history, rivaling the richest mines on Earth. The government quickly announced the news. Officials spoke of national pride and new hope. International companies sent teams to Luzon, eager to assess the site. The Philippines, long seen as a developing nation, now sat atop a resource that could turn its future upside down. But, the scale of the find also raised some hard questions. Could the Philippines control this wealth, or would others move in? Was the country really ready for the challenges and temptations such riches bring? Rare earth minerals might sound exotic, but honestly, they're everywhere in our daily lives. They power smartphones, electric cars, wind turbines, and even missile guidance systems. Without them, a lot of modern technology would just stop. There are 17 rare earth elements, each with its own unique properties. Some make powerful magnets, others help screens glow with bright colors or enable batteries to store more energy. They're tough to find in large, pure quantities, which makes them super valuable. Most of the world's supply currently comes from China. That's given China a lot of leverage in global markets and politics. Countries worry about shortages, trade wars, or sudden supply cuts. The Philippine discovery, though, could totally change that balance. Suddenly the world saw Luzon not just as an island, but as a possible new capital for the green and digital revolutions. The global reaction was, honestly, swift and dramatic. Stock markets jumped, especially for companies linked to mining and technology. Shares in Chinese rare earth firms fell. Investors scrambled to understand what the Luzon find would mean for global supply chains. Governments met in emergency sessions. Nations relying on Chinese rare earths began reaching out to the Philippines, offering partnerships and aid. The United States, Japan, and Australia saw a chance to lessen their dependence on Beijing. Diplomats arrived in Manila, briefcases in hand. Behind closed doors, deals and counterdeals began. The Philippine government faced pressure to choose partners wisely, to avoid being swamped by foreign interests. The mood was a mix of hope and anxiety. For some, this was a new dawn. For others, a storm was brewing on the horizon. In Luzon's coastal towns, the news brought dreams of prosperity. Fishermen imagined their children working as engineers or scientists. Local businesses pictured new roads, schools, and hospitals. For a country where poverty remains common, this find felt like a miracle. Yet, hope was tinged with fear. Some worried about the environment. Would the sea and land be spoiled? Others remembered past scandals, where wealth vanished into the pockets of a few. Could this time be different? Young people talked about studying mining or technology, sensing new opportunities. Activists called for jobs, education, and healthcare. This must help everyone, not just the rich, they said. The government made promises, but trust was fragile. Across the nation, the question echoed, will this treasure lift us all or tear us apart? A $4 trillion resource is both a blessing and a test. The Philippines could use this wealth to transform its economy, build infrastructure, and raise living standards. Jobs, technology, and foreign investment might flood in, but history warns us. Resource curse stories are common. Nations that grow rich overnight often face corruption, inequality, and conflict. Leaders may misuse funds, or cronies might seize control. The environment can suffer too. Mining, especially underwater, risks damaging fragile ecosystems and fishing grounds. Environmentalists called for strict protections. They warned that rare earth mining can release toxic waste, harming both people and wildlife. Some urged a slow, careful approach. Others pushed for immediate development, fearing lost chances. The country stands at a crossroads. The choices made now will shape generations to come. Geopolitics quickly became part of the story. China, the world's top rare earth supplier, watched closely. Beijing issued calm statements, but analysts noted a chill in international meetings. Would China try to protect its market share, or even challenge Philippine control over the deposit? The United States and its allies saw a strategic opportunity. Reduced dependence on China was a long-sought goal. American and Japanese firms offered investments, technology, and military cooperation. The South China Sea, already tense, became even more significant. Within the Philippines, politicians debated alliances. Should the country lean west, east, or chart its own course? Nationalists called for full control while pragmatists urged smart partnerships. The eyes of the world were on Luzon, not just for what lay under the sea but for what it meant in the struggle between superpowers. Managing newfound wealth is never easy. Around the world, oil, diamonds, and minerals have brought both riches and ruin. For the Philippines, this was a once-in-a-century test of leadership, transparency, and vision. Civil society groups pressed for open contracts and strict oversight. The government promised accountability, but past experience made many skeptical. Could new institutions, perhaps even a sovereign wealth fund, ensure the money was used wisely? Sustainability was another challenge. Responsible mining, environmental restoration, and investment in education and health would be vital. Experts warned, think long-term, avoid quick fixes, and put people's welfare first. In the end, leadership mattered most. The decisions made now would be studied for generations as either a model or a warning. The Luzon rare earth discovery is not just a local story. It is a moment that could reshape the Philippines and reverberate far beyond its shores. If managed well, it could lift millions from poverty, speed up the transition to green technologies, and inspire other nations to dream big. But the risks are just as real. Environmental disaster, political conflict, or deepening inequality could turn hope into heartbreak. The struggle between superpowers, if mishandled, could drag the region into instability. For everyday Filipinos, the future feels uncertain but exciting. Young people especially sense that history is being made. Schools, businesses, and communities are already asking what role they will play in this unfolding drama. The world will watch closely. The lessons from Luzon may guide not just one country, but all nations faced with sudden wealth in a complex, connected era. The $4 trillion rare earth discovery off Luzon is a story of dreams and dangers, of possibility and peril. It is a reminder that resources alone cannot guarantee a better future. Choices matter, and so do the values that shape them. Will the Philippines chart a path of justice, sustainability, and shared prosperity? Or will the old traps of greed and short-term thinking win out? The answer is not yet written. What happens in Luzon will be shaped by leaders, citizens, and the world community alike. This is more than a headline or a jackpot. It is a test for the Philippines, for global markets, and for all who hope to use resources wisely. If the right lessons are learned, this could be an era of transformation and hope. The world is watching. The next chapter depends on courage, wisdom, and the choices made today.